Welcome to the GameChanger 00100 show. I am your host, GameChanger. So, somebody in the chat room decides to call me Late Changer. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's a beautiful day here in Northern California. And yes, it does make a person a little lazy. They want to relax. They want to just enjoy the goodness of life for a second. So I apologize for being tardy. I truly do. To make up for it, I have a spectacular show for you all today. So I was watching Messi Michon. Is it Michon or Michonne or something like that? I don't know how it's pronounced. And she, just like Skylar, was covering this black woman in Thailand. Everybody's talking about her. Apparently, she says it's weird that black men aren't approaching and they're not even speaking to her. And yes, I'm going to agree with her. And this isn't me just being a contrarian. I can't really rightly say that it's weird when black women in the States behave that way and not say that it's normal when black American men abroad behave the same way. So I'm not going to go there. But I'm going to give commentary for that in a moment. Somebody said, I just saw that video. Yeah, everybody's seen the video, but I'm going to cover it, give my perspective on it, I guess, like everyone else. I was going to let it go, but it's just been bombarding my timeline. Also, I watched Chantel and a woman came on talking about, and it's the same woman, that nurse, that, sexy married nurse who, is on that pick me journey. And she seems legit, so good for her. And she's legit married, also good for her. And she was talking about women in their 50s, like, 50 is the new 20, blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, why not get the 20-year-old then? That's like somebody saying, a 2025 model car is, or actually, I don't know, that maybe the car is a bad analogy, but you get my point. It's like, okay, what you're saying is that you have the same mentality as a 20-year-old. Therefore, why not get the 20-year-old if you're capable of doing so? But that's a whole nother story. Short of the day. Let me share that with you all. Give you time to click the like button. All right.
Come on, let's go. Let's go, ma'am. Let's go. Yes, ma'am. Right there. Open it up. Get out. It's raining. Okay. Give me that iPhone because it's my phone. Bye. Oh, don't you laugh, honey, because it's your turn next year. Come on. Let's go.
Okay. So what you see on your screen is a woman who is trying to hold it together. She has the form-fitting dress on. She has the booty poking out. For whatever reason, just like younger women, she likes to film things that should be private, or things that are just highly inappropriate, or things that really show that they are people of very poor character, but they think it's a good thing. They think it's somehow a flex. Like, look at me humiliate my daughter by kicking her out. People will think good of me after I do this. So, under the same foolish delusion that someone her daughter's age would be. Now, I don't know, I don't remember seeing that. Oh, here it is. Mother kicks daughter out on her graduation day. On her graduation day. Now, that's key. And the reason why that's key is because graduation day is, or when a person turns 18, that's typically when they age out of the system, meaning that they are too old to receive government sponsored benefits, or rather the mother is, too old to get paid to babysit her at that age. Typically they wait to their 18th birthday, and even if they're a senior in high school during their 18th birthday, and even if they're on the track to Harvard, they'll kick them out anyway. But that's not the case here. She at least waited to graduation day and then kicked her out. Ever notice how Black people, but primarily Black women, they take the worst traditions that develop in the Black community and decide to stick with those? For example, they don't cook like Big Mama. They don't stick by their man like Big Mama. They don't parent like Big Mama, but Big Mama will kick you out on your 18th birthday. Now, Big Mama did this because she came from a place in time where 18 was old enough to self-sustain. By 18, an entry-level job would yield you independence. In the past, a young man would, by the time he turns 18, he took a couple of metal shop or wood shop or whatever, and, got a job at the local factory, mill, plant, what have you. And next thing you know, he got a house, he got a 3-bedroom home. And a young woman would marry said man. He gets a job as not a conductor, but as a person, what do you call that? A train attendant, a flight attendant on trains, and yeah, he's self-sustaining. It was very easy to self-sustain during that time period. So that made some sense. Not a lot, but it made some sense. It makes no sense now to send somebody outside with no prospects or opportunities. It makes no sense whatsoever. This is, oh crap. This is what's called a humble. This is a ritual that they do to humble their young daughters. You see, it won't be long with a little bit of support before the daughter outdoes her in every single way. And that's because women's value is typically front loaded, meaning that it will not be long before that little girl, and I'm assuming that she's 18, that little girl will outdo her mother in every way. And I'm talking about financially. She already got her beat on the looks. So, now that she's legal, any man, would prefer the daughter over the mother. So she already has her beat in that regard. It won't be long before she out earns her. It won't be long before she becomes a waitress and her tips will be more than the mother could, have, or the mother earns. It won't be long before her job as a secretary, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It won't be long before that daughter out earns the mother. It'll be a very short period of time. So what will happen is that you'll have a young girl making, I don't know, let's just say 50 while the mother makes 40 and she's hotter and stuff like that. If given an opportunity, because it's hard to find a job when you're homeless. The mother knows this. So she's going to assure that her daughter is homeless. And to be perfectly honest, what she's trying to do is set her daughter up to make a permanently bad decision. For those of you who just got here, the chat room is broken. It says 12,000 people is watching. I know that that's simply not true. So, but people are asking in the chat room, and I'm going to play again so we know what exactly transpired.
Let's go, ma'am. Let's go. Yes, ma'am. Right there. Open it up.
Get out. It's raining.
Okay. Give me that iPhone because it's my phone. Bye. Oh, don't you laugh, honey, because it's your turn next year.
So now you see what happened. Someone's asking, what did she give and reason? Did she explain herself? No, she's a Black woman. Black women aren't accountable to anyone except other Black women. Read social workers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So no, she didn't explain herself, but by the fact that apparently her 17-year-old daughter, said it's going to happen to you next year. Did her 17-year-old daughter do anything wrong? No, she didn't do anything more wrong than the other one. Someone also said Black women set their children up for failure. Absolutely. Absolutely. For whatever reason, and the men do it too, to be fair. For whatever reason, Black people don't want to see their children advance past them. There's a certain level of classism that goes on in the Black community. There is a disdain between different social classes of Black people. And you hear it growing up like, oh, they think they're too good. They think they're better than us. And this is typically someone from, one social class talking about another social class of people. All groups do it, but very few groups take it as far as to say, I don't want my kids to grow up to be like those people. I don't know why that is. Perhaps when you feel that the world is looking down upon you, and the only people that look up to you, your children, or at least the only people that have looked up to you for the last 18 years were your children, will soon join a class of people that look down upon you. Perhaps you're defending against that. Who knows? But there is a reason why Black people that excel typically do so due to uncontainable talent. Like basketball, music, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like you can't really, there wasn't no stopping somebody like Eddie Murphy or Dave Chappelle or something like that. There wasn't no stopping certain talents. And these are the people who, in spite, maybe LeBron James' parent did kick him out on his 18th birthday. Who knows? But there was no stopping him. So yes, unfortunately, this behavior is prevalent in the Black community, but we're focused on the mothers and their relationship with the daughters, because there is an entirely different aspect going on here. The mother is obviously looking for attention, whether this is staged or not. The mother is obviously looking for attention. She has
Come
the
on.
dress on, she has her nails did, she has her, you know, she has her best wig on, her best lace front. Really, her hairdo is the same as the daughter's. She has hoop earrings on, and she has her tits out. She has her tits showing in a very real way. Um, Besides the size difference, you know, if her daughter were to wear the same thing that she was wearing, you wouldn't even notice the difference. Her daughter is a reminder that she is not young. Not only is it a reminder to her, it's a reminder to any man that she brings over. A 30-year-old man might say, okay, she's kind of thick, okay, it looks like she could ride that stick. Let me see what that's about. And then the daughter, and then like a 17-year-old girl and an 18-year-old girl come walking out. It's like, oh, wait a minute. Whether you're attracted to the 18-year-old girl or not, she does look old. She is now a mother of an effable woman. You start to see her at a different light. She really could, and if it was up to her, will be a grandmother very soon. So you start to look at her in a different light. And quite frankly, she don't want people to look at her that way. All right, somebody asked, what's the daughter's going to do if she's homeless? Find a friend's sofa to sleep on, hostel. Well, that's the best case scenario for the daughter. That's not what the mother wants. What the mother wants is for the daughter to make a permanently bad decision. A permanently bad decision. Now, what is a permanently bad decision? Well, permanently bad decision would be selling box on the corner. That's what the mother wants. Once she starts doing that, because the mother is trying to leave her with little choice but to do that, once she starts doing that, then the mother always has that over her. At that point, the mother can always say, you are a 304. You can never rise your head above me because you are a 304. You were a 304. You was selling box on the block. That's one bad decision. Another bad decision is to have a child and get on the welfare. So the government will back you. She wants her to make one of these permanently bad decisions. That way, so no matter how much the daughter advances, she is still going to be, her desirability is going to be, significantly lessened because she has a kid. She's not like a PYT. She's a single mom. She's one of these people calling Kendra G like, hey, I'm trying to figure it out. So yes, she sabotaged her. This is a sabotaging effort. She's going to do it to both of her daughters. That's the best case scenario for the mom, the worst case scenario for the daughter. The best case scenario for the daughter, and quite frankly, the more likely scenario, is that she stays with a friend's family for a little bit, without the perverted father of said family. She stays with the friend's family for a little bit, start to work, and eventually find an apartment, roommate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and then come into her own. That's the best case scenario. And then after a year, bring her little sister on. That's the best case scenario. That's the worst case scenario for the mom, because now she's just, she lost a member of the sisterhood, or she lost two would-be members of the sisterhood, and she has empty nest syndrome. Now the mother's thinking because truth be told, women were not meant to be single this long. Women were not meant to be single this long. It's unnatural. That a 38 plus year old woman should not be competing, or maybe even 36, should not be competing on the mating market with girls half her age. That's unnatural. Just like a 38-year-old man should not be out competing on the basketball court with men half his age. On the NBA court, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's unnatural. And the way that this woman and others are behaving is unnatural. It's a reflection of that. Hit the like button. That like button. So that's what's going on there. But they do see their daughters as competition, as my thumbnail would suggest. And it's a competition that they will always lose. Men in a primal sense are always going to be attracted to fertility. Always. That's why we're not attracted to big women. And that's why we're not attracted to women who are approaching menopause or have approached menopause. I mean, it's not like we won't do them. Just like a dog will hump a human leg. I mean, it would rather be with a female dog that is in heat. However, when that's not available, it just goes humping blankets and stuff. That's what you are. You're something to hump on. I mean, but their primary choice, you will not be that. Sad and unfortunate, but true. All right. So let me just go to Chantel's because I want to look up the well, actually I'll look her up because I like her TikTok. But let me go to Chantel's first so I can find it and give y'all a chance to hit that like button. So let's see. Videos. So this is that I've covered her several times. This is that pretty nurse that sticks it to the sisterhood. And y'all know how I feel about pygmies. They always get my support. And because it's a lonely path. Hold on. I think this is it. Oh, okay. I see. This came off of a different channel. But I found it nevertheless. All right. So this isn't her channel. I got to find her channel so I could save it on my Instagram, TikTok, or whatever. Whatever it is. All right. Here we go.
This delusional mess y'all got going on. Talking about she's so stupid. Women in their 50s are thriving. Yeah, y'all might be thriving financially, but to sit on this internet and call me a lie? My granny said that's a cuss word because y'all didn't call me a lie and said that women in their 50s can compete with women in their 20s. To who? Financially, maybe. I'm gonna give it to them financially. Them the big ballers. If you're looking for a sugar mama shot caller, you know what I'm talking about. But if we are talking for real, looks wise, body wise, personality wise, trainable wise, we are going to go with 20 to 30. Okay, y'all are so delusional and so butthurt because I'm telling you the truth. I have no reason to lie. What do I get from lying online? Tell me, what do I get? Please explain to me what y'all think I'm getting from this, because I don't gotta lie to you. I ain't kissing your ass. I don't give a damn about you. I'm just telling you the truth. Them 20-year-olds is hot. Them is pentacottas hot. They are hot chili pepper red hots. Okay, they can do what they want. They got the body. They are trainable. You know what I mean? They might have a little attitude here and there. You know what I mean? But again, they are very much so trainable. You know, and a lot of them don't got. Even if they got kids, they snap it back. They snap a 50-year-old. Ain't nobody trying to baby with no 50-year-old. That's a grandma. You know what I mean? But at the same time, 50-year-olds are beautiful in their own way. And we can say that. We can say that 50-year-olds are beautiful in their own ways. 40-year-olds are beautiful in their own ways. 30-year-olds are beautiful in their own ways. 20-year-olds, them motherfuckers is hot. You know what I mean? They are. Them girls is with it, okay? And they, you know what I mean? Like, I know y'all, but they don't even take care of themselves. But that's their business. They ain't got nothing to do with us. What I'm saying is, we gonna stop saying that 50-year-olds can compete with 20-year-olds, because it's a no.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
See, now y'all.
Okay. When she says they're beautiful in their own way, really everyone is beautiful in their own way. That's kind of like a universal truth. There's beauty in everything, even, you know, Leslie Jones. She's beautiful in a way that would entice any male gorilla. So, yeah, that can be true. However, as far as what men seek, especially men wanting to start families, it's not going to come from a 50-year-old vessel. They're looking for something to die with. Yeah, they're probably willing to accept that in the absence of the company of someone much younger. But truth be told, they would still rather be with a younger woman. Even men who've been married to their wives for, you know, the last 30 or so years still think about what it was like to have her when she was young. I mean, he's remembering, but he's like, okay. And he's actually, you know, continuing the relationship because of the goodwill and good favor that she has given when she was in her prime. Hit the like button. But it was something that she said that I wanted to
Pissing me off with this delusional mess y'all got going on, talking about some she's so stupid, women in their 50s are thriving. Yeah, y'all might be thriving financially, but
there we go. That was the point I wanted to talk about. Single women in their 50s are almost always not thriving financially either. Whenever you have a person who don't work well with others, they tend to not really do very well on an economic scale. I mean, don't get me wrong, you know, a pretty girl is always going to make money. However, as far as like continuous employability, you know, growth, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, the halo effect aside, put it like this: they make far less money than married women. And far less money is preserved because they spent their entire life or the majority of it, you know, paying full rent and full mortgage as opposed to splitting it in two, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So what you have here is women in their 50s who make the average male salary or a little bit more, trying to entice younger men who make less than the average male salary with video games, soda pop, and, you know, the ability to buy liquor for them. I didn't make this trope up. Those of you who have seen the movie Ma know what I'm talking about. it's they're trying to do what men do, but the fact that you have to resort to male mating tactics, really show how far from grace you've come. And it shows the difference between a woman in her 20s versus a woman in her 50s, because women in their 20s don't have to lead with their wallet. They don't have to lead with their purse. Well, they do, but it's a different type of purse. Yeah. Ha. Let's see what some of the comments have to say. Older women can't compete. Oh, that's the channel alerts. Okay, it says, why are women competing anyway to win? Ladies, let's pray that you make it to 50 training. Why wouldn't a first world person make it to their 50s? Okay. Girl, please. I look good for 55. She addressed you already. Stop comparing young adults to grown women. So when she was 25, let's just say that. When she was 25, less than half her age, she called herself a grown woman. Name one 25-year-old that didn't call themselves a grown woman. But now that you're 55, you're grown, and I guess a 25-year-old is a little girl. Interesting. Okay. Of course, we are not what we used to be in our 20s. Good. Duh. But don't play. We still got it. Okay. I'm not sure what it is in the context that she means. But if she wants to state that she still has a vagina, then yes, you still have one. Kind of like a 55-year-old car may still have tires, or it may still have an engine, or it may still have like a hood or a roof. But in most cases, it's far less valuable than it was 30 years ago. All right, moving on. Okay, so my thoughts are it is special to be any age for different reasons. Okay, it's all the same type stuff. Okay. Being young is great, and also being older. Why are we hating on each other for being in two very different, great, in different points in life? Okay. They're not talking about if it's great for the individual. On that, I can agree with you. There are things that I enjoy about being in my 40s that I enjoy more than being in my 20s. My metabolism is not one of those things, but I'm not going to go there for now. So, yeah, I guess it is great, but she's talking about your attraction level to men. She says they can't compete with younger women, not compete in a knitting contest. No, she's talking about competing on the mating market. That's all she's saying. Shaking my head. This is crazy. If God's okay, so she's pagan, lets you live to be older, it's a blessing. And as far as men wanting younger women, we all know why it is. LOL. I get it. That's good. That's good. But be great no matter what. Love yourself, young or old. Nobody said to stop loving yourself. They're talking about competition. Okay. We need to stop with comparing ourselves to other women. No, you need to start. That's how you sharpen your skills. Live your life in any decade and thrive. Men with options, the top 20% that, it seems like 80% are seeking, they have to choose between the 80% who are interested in them. So if you are in that 80%, then you are competing, provided that man is monogamous. We're not competing though. We minding our business and living our lives. Well, she's obviously responding to someone who wasn't minding her business or living her lives because someone called her a lie. I have to disagree. There's women that's in their 50s and 60s that has these young women beat. Okay. Oh crap. All right. If you take the world's most attractive 50-plus-year-old woman and put her against the world's ugliest woman in her 20s, then yes. Then yes. Oh, you have them beat. But that's not the case now, is it? It's not. That's like saying, humans have gorillas beat because if you take the world's strongest human and you pit it next to the world's weakest gorilla, that human is stronger than that gorilla. But no, we know that gorillas are stronger than human beings by significantly high degree. In fact, they're the strongest apes. In fact, I think chimpanzees are stronger than humans as well. So let's not go there. Extreme outliers aside, women are hotter in their 20s by a ridiculous margin. And then there's all type of personality quirks that goes along with that. Maybe you should have said natural wise for young and older because younger women getting body surgeries, wearing a ton of caked up 1 pound lashes. So yes, in a sense, older women handling business, and the majority of younger women can't cook home cooked meals, especially from scratch. They fast food junkies. The best believe it. A lot of older women out here with the natural banging body. Okay, whenever somebody says a lot of, then that means it's not the standard. That means that's not the standard. It's not the standard thing. There's a lot of handicapped people killing in the Olympics. I mean, like that, but that's not the standard. So, but nevertheless, what this person is doing is they're attributing a lot of positive stereotypes to the older while creating negative stereotypes for the younger. This whole not cooking thing, especially from scratch, is been gone because we're not talking about 80-year-old women. We're talking about 50-year-old women. Women who were born 1975. Women who were 10 in the 80s, in the divorce era, in the I don't need a man era. Women who turned 20 in 1995. So I was around in 1995. Wasn't like a bunch of cooking from scratch women back then either. So let's not go there. So no, even in the 50s today, you're getting a woman who still don't know how to cook from scratch. And if her mama taught her, then she just omitted that information. She just said, I ain't cooking shit. That is the woman you're getting. Let's not be unbalanced and say, oh no, older women cook. No, they don't. No, they don't. They order Uber Eats just like they taught their daughter to do. First off, why do you think someone in there, Jesus Christ, you're 50 and you got the wrong there. All right. In their 50s, competing with little girls. Girls have several seat. Girl have several seats. Oh, yeah. A 25-year-old adult woman is a little girl, even though she's old enough to be a mother herself. You're a little girl in the eyes of black women. Okay. Now, when the fellas said it was awkward seeing the mothers in the clubs with their daughters, men was called misogynistic. No, no, that is awkward. Okay, apparently this was liked by Obsidian. All right. So I'm going to move past that one and just go into the general topic at hand. And then I'm going to cover that one chick from Messy Michonne. So, oh, by the way, shout out to Chantel for bringing this one up. All right. Y'all hit that like button while I set this up. Okay, so we're going to start with this one right here. I don't know why black women are part of this bonnet society. At this point, it's not even that it's unattractive. At this point, it's because y'all know that men don't find it attractive, yet y'all do it anyway. So, really, I think that you're doing it as a sign of defiance to society. Kind of like a feminist not shaving her armpit. I think you're on that ish. Nevertheless, let's see.
Older men dating younger girls. Y'all can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on about this topic all fucking day. Y'all, these men steady telling y'all what they want and what they don't want. And the difference between this generation versus the older generation, like the women that's probably 70, 80 years old right now, is that
Hit the
they
subscribe
actually
button.
submitted to their man. They actually loved and cared for their man. They knew how to be a woman. So when y'all see a woman like me getting picked by a man, y'all tell me, oh, go heal, go do this, go do that. Baby, the women back then, they was younger than me. They was like 12 years old,
She has a point.
having to get married to 80-year-old men.
I don't know about
Like,
that.
come on now. This shit is in the Bible. What is y'all missing? What is you missing? And the main thing these men keep telling you, oh, I want a woman that's gonna come home and cook for me and clean. I want peace. I want to feel like a man. Men are so simple. Y'all little young hoes don't want to do shit but be outside, shake y'all motherfucking ass. Then when a bitch like me decides to have a family, people like y'all get on the motherfucking internet and talk shit about it. Bitch, love is love. And age ain't shit but a fucking number. Older.
Okay, I'm going to explore her channel a bit. Okay, so this is what it normally is for people who think I had 900 people watching. No, what you see now is what you get. I don't know what was going on before, but it happens from time to time. All right, she said something about 12-year-olds dating 80-year-olds. I do know that people got married a lot younger back in my grandparents' day. I think that grandma was around 12 when she met grandpa. But grandpa wasn't 80 years old. Grandpa was at most 15. And they stuck together and, did the whole, death do us part thing. That's just, how things were. You knew what you were getting. So yeah, but once again, that's not boomer or Gen X or even millennial. That's it's a whole different mindset. So yeah, if let's just say myself or someone my father's age was to say, I don't, were to see value in older women versus younger women, that is because the boomer generation went against the traditional generations of the older women. They went against the traditional values, meaning that you probably would, if you were that age, be better off with a woman your own age because the boomers were just complete and total trash. Now, the problem is that it's the boomers now saying, why are you dating these young girls? It's because you have the same mentality as them when it as it relates to cooking, cleaning, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. In fact, it is you that's telling young women like this not to do these things. That's a you thing. You're telling them not to do these things. She says, and no, I'm not a pick me. I choose family over the streets. That is a pick me. And there's nothing wrong with that. The only shame is in those who try to shame you. Men have always dated younger women since the beginning of time. Yes, Eve was younger than Adam because Adam was created first. Older women date younger men all the time. They're called cougars. The movie Stella Got a Groove Back, and that had nothing to do with the topic at hand. All right. A lot of these younger women are skipping steps and leveling up, dealing with older productive men and winning. Um, it depends on what their design is. I mean, so a lot of people, younger and older, in fact, the younger is getting it from the older, really see men as a financial utility, and they see themselves as sexual utilities. That's why there is a huge deficit in how a older woman views younger women. There's a huge value deficit because when you walk around this mentality, and this is a mentality that's very adjacent to 304 culture, then yes, the younger woman is extraordinarily more valuable and the older man is extraordinarily more valuable, but you can't create families under that circumstances, meaning that you shouldn't breed with 304s. Okay, hell, older women dating younger men too. Let's talk about it. No, let's not, because that's not the topic. They don't want to. Still got her groove back. I don't know what that meant. All right, she's telling the truth, even if y'all don't want to hear it. I like this lady. Y'all need to listen. She spits facts. Great job, mama. All right. And somebody says she's a very smart lady, which so far I'd have to agree. Let's see what Courtney. Let's do a deeper dive. Oh, this is interesting. Either she's using some type of trick or with camera angles or something like that, or she shifts weight. She oscillates weight significantly, or if this is just simply someone else. And this Christmas, yeah, trip I stole Christmas. Okay, so here I'm going to ignore that because I actually don't know if that is even like supposed to be her. But yeah, it does seem like she oscillates weight, but she's a mother and all that stuff. So I don't know like what various stage of pregnancy or post-pregnancy she's in these pictures. So I'm not really going to focus on her looks. All right, let's see if she has anything else to click on. Okay, so Apparently, she has something to say on some LGBTQ, which I don't think she is because she's an advocate for family. Younger men dating younger girls. Okay. Let's see what she has to say on this one.
Hey, if I was your age, you say you like 50 years old, right? If I was your age and I had no husband and no kids that don't talk to me, I would be on social media doing what you're doing as well. But see, here's the issue with that. See, you don't fully know who you're trying to provoke. And most times I do respect my elders. But see, you bitch, because that's what you're being, a bitch. And you sat on here and you called yourself a super bitch. And see, y'all talk about us young girls for not having respect for ourselves. Yet y'all's the ones setting the example, and y'all consider yourself as a bad bitch and a super bitch and a bitch this and a bitch that. And I quite frankly find that a problem. Why do you not? See, maybe if you fix your relationship with your kids, or when you was my age, 18 years old, and found a husband, you wouldn't be on social media attention seeking. And
Hmm.
see, you said that you didn't see the video that I initially was responding to, where I was being attacked in some comments about my relationship. Cool, I'll send it to you. But to get on the social media and make a video about me, you don't know me. You don't know what you're talking about. And your whole video is filled with bullshit. Quite frankly, you definitely read. You definitely did. But guess what? On no day can you fuck with me. Cause see me, bitch. Me, Breezy motherfucking K, Courtney motherfucking J, Clarana motherfucking B. Me, bitch.
Okay.
Lord lady.
Enough of that
Go on
foolishness.
about your business.
All right, so let's get back to the topic at hand. I thought that maybe if I went into her thing, I'd find something worth discussing. Apparently not, so we're going to move on. Okay, let's see. Let's see what this white woman has to say.
What do men need to know about dating a younger woman? If you're a man dating a woman that's 10, 15, 20, 30 years younger than you, dating is going to be a lot different than a woman your age. So as a woman that's younger, she's going to trigger your biological instincts. I mean, it just makes sense. With her youth, beauty, and fertility, we all know about that. But attraction doesn't mean she's right for you. There's a lot of beautiful women out there that are going to be the wrong match for you. One thing to consider is she's probably going to make you feel so desired. She'll make you feel younger, and she'll give you an excitement about life. And it may become overwhelming, but you need to stop and ask yourself, is she truly interested in you? Or is it the lifestyle she's getting from you? Unfortunately, when you date younger, you might find more.
Um, that is a good question, and you should ask yourself that. And then once you receive the answer, then what? I mean, you can just take it like, oh, she's not really interested in me. She's more interested in the lifestyle I provide for her. Okay. Okay. I'm perfectly okay with that. You see, I don't really understand what a person's obsession with why a person is attracted to you if they're attracted to you. You see what I mean? Now we'll get into it in a minute, which why money is you should have that concern a little bit more, but just a little bit. But Okay, for example, all right, say a woman says, "Hey, I'm into you because you're funny." Say, "I'm into you because your looks." "I'm into you because of your music, your poetry, your art." Hell, "I'm into you because of your style." What does it really matter? Like, I mean, anything after I'm into you because you got the big one. Like, does it really, like, when it when you break it down, it all sounds bad. It's all self-serving in some way, shape, or form. If she's physically attracted, "I'm into you because I like looking at you." Is that better than "I'm into you because of the lifestyle that you provide"? And then you have to ask the question, why are you into her? And it's going to be something that sounds equally petty. Even if it's, I mean, "Hey, I'm into you because of the meals you prepare. Nobody could cook like you. I'm interested in you because you're smart. I'm interested in you because you're funny. I'm interested in you because you're pretty. I'm interested in you, because you got that skill set." I mean, it's all going to be self-serving. The thing is that the relationship exists because the two parties serve each other. Now, when it comes to money, it's a little different because Western society is set up to where she can have the money outside of you, meaning that you should not start a serious relationship based solely on that. And that's only because of the laws. Like, if you um, find yourself in a place where those don't apply, then yeah, why not? It's like that movie, Casino. Robert De Niro's character, and then there was the woman, I forget her name. There was the woman who, she wasn't into him, and he knew it, but he's like, "Okay, you don't have to be into me. I'm going to keep you with this lifestyle, and in exchange, you will keep me in the lifestyle that I want, which is steady sexual relations, somebody who represent me in a positive way, to friends and families and events, and a mother of a child, my child." So yeah, he was perfectly okay with that arrangement. The only problem came was when she decided to have the money without him. So money is tricky, but all the reasons that a person has really don't matter.
More women that will want to use you, and you need to be careful. And yes, you can find a woman that's younger that genuinely loves you. It just might take a little bit more time. Another thing to consider is, does she have daddy issues? And if she hasn't healed from them, it can cause a lot of problems in the relationship. So
Okay, every woman has issues. I don't know, like, why daddy issues is worse than any other issue that a woman has. If anything, an older woman's who's single is typically that way, especially if she looks worth a damn. She's typically that way because of her issues. It's just that the younger woman has more of a chance to resolve those issues. Like, "Oh, she might have a daddy issue." I don't care. If she wants to be spanked because of her daddy issues, I don't care. I will gladly oblige. You could get this belt too.
it's worth considering if she's working on her issues, if she has a growth mindset. Otherwise, your relationship might not last that long. Also, don't let her rely on you for everything. To be fair, if you're older than her, you're going to be further along in life than she is. She's going to be less experienced than you. But ideally, she is working on.
Why? The advice they give is terrible. Don't let her rely on you for everything. Um, what they're trying to do is they're trying to pigeonhole men into going after these independent broads. No, if she relies on you for stuff and you rely on her for stuff, that's a codependent relationship. You depend on each other. Like you rely on her to bring healthy children into the world.
Stuff. She's got her own goals. She does her own thing and she's independent in a lot of ways. And sometimes guys will mistake dependent.
And there she said it. Why in the hell? What can you do with a woman with an independent mindset when family is a dependent thing? You're depending on each branch of the family for various things to do their part. Like, why do people suggest that men join a collective with independent women? It doesn't make any sense.
See for loyalty, but the reality is she just has less options to leave. And if given the option and she genuinely doesn't like you, she will leave. Finding a woman that can stand on her own 2 feet will let you know if she.
This whole notion that independent women don't leave is ridiculous. The reason why they're independent and single later in life is because they have been leaving their whole damn life. It means that the moment that they get bored, they leave.
She's there because she wants to be. Next, you're gonna be judged
and the moment she don't want to leave, the moment she don't want to be there, she won't. And that's the same with the dependent woman. She's just going to find another man to depend on. See, even these dependent women that they try to say, oh, they need you, like they just can't find another dude. The same way the independent woman could just find another job.
Someone who's in an age gap marriage myself, it's gonna catch you off guard a little bit. You'll think you're beyond that, or everybody knows. People will sometimes talk behind your back, and it can be hard to hear. People will make assumptions about you that you're going through a midlife crisis, or you're grooming her. Ugh. Or she's just looking for a sugar daddy. Okay. And heck, sometimes people will be right in your inbox.
Okay, let's see.
The reason why men date younger women is not because of their physical appearance, their bodies. No.
Okay. Everything she says after this is going to be stupid. It's not because of their physical appearance. The reason why men date anyone ever is because of their physical appearance. Even blind men date on physical appearance. Y'all seen the movie Ray Charles where he was like grabbing their wrists to see if they're attractive or not? He couldn't even see them, but he knows an ugly broad.
Because today with plastic surgery and everything else, you barely know who is 40 and who is 18. Guys date younger women because they're easily manipulated. They're going to...
It's not manipulated. Well, maybe it is, but not with the negative connotation that you're implying with the word. Yeah, I mean, a younger person is more malleable than an older person. That's why you were manipulated into be single for so damn long. Because when you were younger, and older women manipulated you in that way. However, moldability is a good thing. Because it's better to get a woman who is still moldable than a woman who has been molded to be single. You have been molded to be single. Being single for an exceptional period of time means that that's how you were molded. You have spent the majority of your life not sustaining relationships.
Be very happy with a few crumbs because maybe they didn't experience much in the world. They're going to be just easily impressed. And it's way cheaper to date a younger girl.
and they're more valuable. So as I told you, what she was gonna say after, the whole it's not about looks. No, they look better and they cost less. It's about those two things. And you can mold them. Okay. Why aren't all the older men not marrying all the young single women that are available? Their marriage creates, um, huh? It's still in the toilet. Well, citation needed on that, but nevertheless, if given the opportunity, I think many are and do. So yeah. All right. Oh, this woman is okay. She's destined to be clipped.
This video, it probably means that you're a single older man who really hasn't had a lot of luck with love, but no worries. I'm here because I think I've cracked the code. So basically, the first thing is that you're probably a really bad texter. You don't text her like good morning or good night, or even like during the day, like during your shift or something. You really need to communicate with a girl that you really like. This is another one that you really need to pay attention to. It's that you don't read into the signals that she's giving you, that she's into you or wants to, do things with you, etc. You really need to hone in on that paying attention part because it's really crucial. And the last one, I feel like these are all connected with like spending time and stuff. But anyways, you don't invest enough time into her. You're always working and you don't take her on dates or you take her to the park or like watch her favorite movies, etc. This is really important. If you're
Okay. Not much to really say here. And that's because she's talking to a very particular straw older man. So, I guess that person would really need that advice, I guess. So if you are that person and you feel that advice would be helpful, then go for it. How to date younger women and key. Okay, so now we're talking to like the dating coaches. Let's see what this guy has to say. He's on some.
It's time for me to stop dating younger women, man. They want to hang out at like 10 o'clock and 10. Pawpaw tired, baby. Pawpaw tired. She was like, I'll come back at 10 and then I'll be asleep. What are you talking about? And then what? You got me from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Get your shit together. We can go to brunch. We can do a lot of shit and within that time. 5 p.m. Pawpaw tired. I'm tired. I think it's time for me to stop dating younger women.
Okay,
man.
that was funny. That was a great levity to break up the seriousness of this topic. Ooh, let's see what this sister has to say.
So if you're dating younger, remember this. Your age only works in your favor if it comes with something she actually wants and can't find anywhere else. Otherwise, you're just the older guy trying to keep up. Point 2.
Yeah, so what's your point?
The trap of the trophy. Now, this is where even high-value men get blindsided. They start treating her like she's the prize just because she's young and beautiful.
Well, if you prize youth and beauty, then she is the prize.
And on the surface, that seems harmless, right? I mean, you're appreciating her looks, complimenting her all the time, showing her off. But the danger in this is if she starts feeling like her beauty is the only reason you're there, she's going to flip the power dynamic on you. Suddenly, she's the one calling the shots. You're walking on eggshells, afraid to upset her. You're bending.
Okay, that's a very interesting conversion. Okay. There's a lot to unpack in that one small sentence. First, by doing that, she's saying that younger women are more attractive and that older women who are attractive are somehow incapable of doing this thing. I guess the only solution to this would be to get with an ugly broad. And that is the world we live in here in the West. It's a bunch of mid and below women saying that you should get with mid and below women. Because if she's beautiful, she's going to use that beauty to try to garner relationship control. Now, that could be true about any sense of value that a woman has, any valuable characteristic that a woman has. Like if she cooks well, she's going to use her cooking to garner control over the relationship. If she's a good mother, she's going to use that to garner control over the relationship. If she's the breadwinner, she's going to use that to garner control over the relationship. So the only solution would be to get with a woman who has no value, because any value that she has could definitely be used to control you.
Your own schedule, your budget, your standards, right? Just to keep her happy. And before you know it, you've lost the frame in the relationship. You've gone from the man that she was intrigued by to the man who's basically just chasing her every word and approval. You have to remember this. Beauty is common and beauty fades. Discipline, character, loyalty, kindness, those are rare. So if you're...
Those things are not more rare than beauty. Let me go back to the things that she listed.
Character, loyalty, discipline.
Okay. That's something that can be faked.
Character, loyalty.
These are all personality traits that a beautiful woman can get if she doesn't already have them. And once again, these are things that can be faked a lot easier than beauty can. And of course, youth.
Loyalty, kindness, those are rare. So if you're dating...
Exactly, D. Scott. Beauty is rare. I mean, beauty is a lot rarer than kindness. All right. Especially since, and this is what kills me. There exists unattractive women who are kind to you. If she's less pretty than she is handsome, then you are handsome, then she has a motivation to be kind to you. That doesn't mean that she's kind to everyone. That doesn't mean that she's kind to a man that she is not attracted to. It means that she's being kind to you. And a beautiful woman who's interested in you for whatever reason, a woman who's prettier than you are handsome, and she's being kind to you. Kind is really just, in many cases, a tool that a woman can turn off and on at her convenience. Unlike beauty. Let's see what her tits has to say. All right. Nothing. She just want to show her tits and play some music. Okay. Older man dating younger woman is not bad in my opinion, just a preference. Okay, let's dig into that. Only want someone 18, early 20s. Okay. All right, I'm gonna hit both of these, then I'm gonna go get some.
I don't know why other women are trying to sell this idea that if a man dates a woman who's younger, that automatically means that he's not attractive to other women in the entire world. I think that's a huge cope, because if you actually look at the older men who date younger women, there are women his age and older who wish that they could be with a guy like him.
True.
But he doesn't choose those women for his personal reasons. I think if you actually look at the older men who are dating younger women, they have no problems attracting women their age or older. I think these women are only...
So someone had to have presented to her a argument that the only way this 50-year-old man is the only reason why this 50-year-old man is with this 20-year-old woman is because that's all he can get. Okay. Each and every single man that can attract a 20-year-old can attract a 50-year-old. I'm going to repeat that. Each and every single man that can attract a 20-year-old can attract a 50-year-old. One more time. Each and every single man that can attract a 20-year-old can also attract a 50-year-old. It is ridiculous to assume otherwise. Leonardo DiCaprio. So you're saying that there aren't 50-year-old women that can't attract that he can't attract? So I didn't even know someone would present an argument like that too. But that's when women are desperate. Women, when they're low on stuff, they come with like desperate arguments. And it's really the same ones, but they just apply it in different places. Like, you can't. This is the you can't argument. Like, oh, you with that weak white woman because you can't handle a strong black woman. Or you can't get a fat woman, so you have to go get yourself a skinny woman. You can't get a woman here in the States, so you have to go overseas. This is all yeah. So a person, because they're used to going to the you can't argument, which is a way to shame and to instill a sense of challenge and worth to a group of people that aren't your primary choice. So yeah, it's just that. But I like her response thus far. Yeah, that's like telling NASA, oh, you can't go to Jupiter, so you went to Mars. It's like, well, or excuse me, the other way around. That's like telling NASA, you can't go to the moon, so you went to Mars. It's like, well, if I can go to Mars, I can go to the moon. And if I can attract a 18-year-old woman, then I can attract a 50-year-old woman.
Talking about the exception of the rule and then trying to turn it into a generalization, because yes, there is a percentage of men who cannot attract women their age, but that doesn't go for most of them. If a man can attract a woman who's younger, then he could attract a woman any age, right? Because what these women are saying is like, oh, younger women are stupid. Younger women are mature for their age, but they also have less baggage. Let's be real. Mm-hmm. And what about the women who are older and they go for younger?
No, let's not downplay that part. In addition to being a lot more physically attractive, they do have less baggage. The really only downfall in dating younger women is shorter attention span and higher competition. These are the only minuses that come with dating younger women. The only ones: shorter attention spans and fiercer competition. That's it. That is it. That's all. And really, the short attention span you could see in all age demographics. It's just that older women have less things distracting them.
Men. They could also attract men their age, but there's a reason why they want younger men, which is her own reason. It's her own preference. It's her own standard. I'm done with people using these fucking shaming tactics, because whoever people want to date is whoever people want to date. And whoever I want to date is who I want to date. No, I'm not specifically talking about age, but let's just say I only date one specific race, and that makes so many people mad because low-key, they want a chance with me. That's why they're so butthurt. Y'all know those men who reject you first because they knew you would have rejected them anyway?
Yes.
Yeah. People are insane. What I'm just trying to say is like,
Yeah. I don't do that, but I know what she's talking about. These are the guys that make assumptions about a woman before she rejects them. And it's perfectly fine that she only dates one race of men. I'm probably not part of that race, but it wouldn't really bother me because I know that even if I were, chances are I wouldn't be dating her. So, it's not, and that's why I don't really get upset when women are on that stuff, is because I have to ask myself, like, is race the only thing that's stopping my penis from getting into your vagina? And chances are it's not. So it's not really a starter with me. Yeah. All right. Let's continue.
let's stop shaming men for who they date, because if they're both consenting adults, if they're both happy with you,
Agreed.
people just try to sabotage anything. If it's not the age, it's something else.
So
If it's not the age, oh, well, it's because he said this. Oh, it's because he did this.
So this new generation of women does seem to be a little swifter, probably because they're far more well informed than the Gen X and Gen and millennials. Way more than millennials. Gen X hadn't completely moved into the modern women category. Millennials, they just took it. They just took what the boomers started, and they took it to a ridiculous degree. It does seem like she's Gen Z, and she's like, wait a minute, I've seen this fail so many generations prior to mine, from boomers, Gen X to millennials. I am going to pick a path that showed results for thousands of years prior to the last three generations. And I'm not going to listen to the advice of failed peoples, of failed generations. And that's the key. It does seem like, between her and the 18-year-old that we examined earlier, and that nurse who is probably a millennial herself, but still, it does seem like there is some breaks in the ranks from the sisterhood. And these are all women of color of some sort.
Nothing a man does is ever going to be good enough. Women will always try to find excuses to break up a relationship, but age alone.
Damn, and they are wise. They are wise. They are always going to try to find excuses to break up those their relationships. So many women have trouble dealing with that.
Is not a deciding factor that he is not worthy of love or commitment. You judging people based on their age alone says more about you than them, than the people who are in the actual relationship.
Okay.
I don't know why other women are trying to sell this idea that if a man dates.
Oh, she has like 133,000 followers. Wow. Oh, notice how she has, and this is true for the 18-year-old. Notice how there's no makeup. Promoting femininity and traditional values. Perfect. Okay. To sign, she likes you more than, okay. Mixed signals. All right, so yeah, she just gives dating. It's funny because she's femininity coach, but it seems like she's given dating advice to men. Y'all know how I feel about dating coaches. That doesn't change when it comes to female dating coaches. So let's see, signs that cannot move on from you. Then something about her hair. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna move on if this is like all she's talking about. Why the most attractive, intelligent men struggle with dating. Okay. Men want respect over love. Okay. Should I click that one? Y'all tell me in the chat room. Um, why women should have no boundaries with a man. Hmm. Huh. Yep. I'm curious.
This might sound crazy and it might get taken out of context, but I believe that women are the most happiest when they don't have boundaries. What I mean by this, you won't have to have boundaries if you're doing everything right. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And if you do have boundaries, it's because you're dealing with a very feminine man. So you have to tell him what to do. Or you have to have boundaries because you're being masculine and then he's being masculine. So then you believe you have a right to these boundaries. Okay, what the fuck am I saying? Men.
I like her. I like her. And she has a lot of don't likes, but thus far, I will say that the good is outweighing the bad. Um, I don't like that she's giving relationship advice. I don't like that she films in bed in her underwear. But I can't say she's not spot on with her messaging.
And don't disrespect you for no reason. That's it. So if you find yourself having a boundary with him, you either one, calm down, two, realize what's going on is not personal, or three, change something about yourself so that whatever this is will change. Women, society pressures them not to be this way, but they love to always be submissive and feminine. And then society's telling them, well, you're doing something wrong.
Dang, she is killing it. She is killing it. Wow.
Like men are going to use you, then men are going to disrespect you. And it's like, no, it's actually the opposite. Like, if you're always a man's peace, you're not bringing stress, you're trusting his leadership, he's going to give you everything that you want. But if you do stupid shit, he's not. As a female, like, I'm humble and confident enough to admit this. I am the most happiest version of myself when I'm not asking a man for anything. And he is giving me everything. You don't complain, you don't bitch, you don't moan. He's going to give you whatever you want. I know that a lot of, to be honest, it's the feminine men who are saying, like, you know, when women nag me, I'll give them what they want.
I don't think I ever heard a man say that ever. Oh shit, yeah, I did. Actually, I heard it a lot. I really just tune it out my brain. And also I never heard it said like with those words in that order. But I have heard it in a lot of different ways, and you all have too. You've heard it in the whole "okay, happy wife, happy life" type thing, and that's just a man just like, okay, I'm going to continue to make her happy because I fear the consequences of not making her happy. I've heard the I don't want to hear her mouth no more, so I'm gonna just do this, you know. Um, and this is actually wise in my opinion, or at least it sounded that way when he said it, you know. He's because he was on the phone with his wife. It was me and a couple of homies at a mutual friend house, and he was like, yeah, love you, mwah. Okay, goodbye. He was talking that, even though he don't talk like that when he talks to the fellas, but yeah, of course, it's different. But he's like, listen, it's either you know, do that and have to go home to a bit, or he said it's either not do that and having to go home to a bitch, or you know, doing that and not having to do that. Which I don't think that makes him a simp or anything. I really think that just means that he's picking his battles. But the mentality that she described, at first I was thinking, I don't know anybody that talks like that. But now thinking into it, I do know guys who talk like that. And I'm not going to necessarily call those guys feminine. I will say that those guys are over compromised, meaning that they have compromised so much. It means that, um, and the longevity of the relationship, she has been testing boundaries and pushing, taking inches. And this is a process that's going to continue until he becomes into a situation that completely favors her and not him at all.
So you're gonna let a female bitch you around? Like, I'm sorry, I know that sounds very harsh, but it's like, so eventually you gave her what you wanted? There's a difference between a female respectfully and femininely communicating that she wants something from you, but if she's constantly giving you shit for it and she expects it from you, that's different.
And okay, so someone says she has a better understanding of relationship dynamics than women twice her age. Absolutely. And I'm going to say further that she actually did a better job of articulating what I was getting at than women twice her age, and that's men that are very likely twice her age, which I think I might be. And because here's what she said. And here's what I was trying to say. Remember how I gave the scenarios of, three homies and, some of them are compromised, others. But the last one, I was like, the one that be on some love you stuff, and I was saying, pick your battles, but other ones were taking inches. It's like, because it's a useless concession, just random acts of adoration and stuff like that, same that you would do to a infant. It doesn't hurt anything, and she probably asked in a polite way. Then why not? Why not? I mean, the way he's thinking, and wisely so, is that the wife is like on some lovey-dovey stuff, and I know, because I am capable of reading a room, that it would be in both of our best interests if I got on that particular page. Then why not do that? Versus the other guys who are saying, happy wife, happy life, because they're doing it out of fear. This comes with a threat of unhappiness if the woman is not made to be happy. And they are bending the knee to threats. The other one's like, I don't want to hear her mouth, so I'm just going to do it. That's bending the knee to threats. But if a woman were to behave in a polite way, and you are to maintain positive behaviors by doing something that makes her happy and doesn't cost you anything, then yeah. So yeah, she was able to articulate that very well, and that's because she's seeing it from a woman's perspective. Like, if I want to get something out of a man, the best thing to do, the womanly thing to do would be to ask in a feminine way, or imply in a feminine way. Use whatever feminine wiles that she is intimately familiar with to get these results. If that's effective, then that's effective. But to do it under threat, then you're only dealing with a man who bend the knee to bitches' threats.
I am so fucking happy when I'm not having boundaries with a man, because that means I can relax. It means I'm not worried, and it means I respect him. And that foundation of a relationship will have a man show up for you in ways that you could have never fucking imagined. It's going to be more beautiful. Stop letting other women tell you you don't love yourself if you don't have boundaries. Like, what? They don't love themselves, which is why they have boundaries, because their boundaries are actually to protect their feelings and insecurities.
Okay, so she earned this one. She earned that. I rarely click that button. I rarely click that button because I don't want my algorithm full of bullshit. But she earned that one.
If you love yourself, you're not going to have boundaries. You're not going to be asking people for shit because you're confident in yourself and your own femininity. One-on-one coaching in my bio, I'm your favorite. This might sound crazy,
Okay,
and it
she
might
killed
get
it.
taken out
Actually,
of context,
I'm
but I
already doing a deep
believe
dive.
that Women
So
are the
let's
most
see.
happiest when they don't.
All right, let's see. I think there was another one that was right there. Women suck at giving dating advice, but you're giving dating advice. Oh damn, I should unfollow. I don't want a dating coach in my shit. I just thought about that. She made me forget. She made me forget the other shit. Okay, so I just watched this one. So the other one was like respect over love. Um, depending on what you want from a woman. Why most men are single and why it's smart. Okay, so yeah, I think I might keep the follow because she does seem like she has some wisdom. I'm not gonna play all of it. Women hookup culture, purity, accountability. Yep. All right, let's see. Uh, the no contact rule when you want to be with your person. Type of girl any man would give everything to. Okay, so that's her giving advice to women. At least she's balanced with it. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna move on because I want to see what that Asian chick has to say, and then I gotta cover the chick in Thailand, and then that's that.
I don't know why other women are trying to sell this idea that if a man dates a woman who
Oh, here we go.
Men who date significantly younger women only. When someone's 18, early 20s, a woman, and she's still figuring out herself, and then the guy's 40 plus, sometimes I wonder, I'm like, where is your headspace at? Okay, if it's
Um, his little head space is in her vagina. Vagina. What's it to you? Ah, this is one of those. I used to be hot. Now, Asian women have always, or I shouldn't say always, but for a very long period of time, have been on the top of the dating mating hierarchy. And I don't know how Asian people age. They age very different than Black people. So I can't really look at her and tell how old she is, but I'm gonna venture a guess anyway and put her in the 40 plus category, which means that she was in the 20 category 20 years ago. And that is when the world had Asian fever. The world. It was the hottest thing that can possibly be. The hottest Disney princess was Asian. And I ain't talking about Milan. I'm talking about Jasmine. But yeah, it's so if she squandered that, and she did because she's sitting there with a dog, buy a dog, die alone. Yeah, she's probably on some why don't I still have it like I had it type thing. You know, why am I not getting the attention that is due every Asian woman back in the Sailor Moon days? So it definitely seems like she's on that. What's going on? I don't know how to pronounce your name. Somebody said probably 60. Wait, is this Lucy Liu? No, this is Christine Chan. Don't play that game because people think I'm terrible because I think Oriental people look alike. But I'm not. I could tell some of them apart from each other. It's not terrible. Quick story, I didn't get into it. He was a nice dude. But I'm at a rental car place some years back. And a Chinaman walks in who looks just like Jackie Chan. And I looked at him and I said to myself, would I be racist if I was to say you look just like Jackie Chan? I'm like, nah, that's not racist because he looks just like Jackie Chan. So I was like, hey, has anybody ever told you you look just like Jackie Chan? And he was like, yes, they have. He said, but only in America do they say that. I'm like, you see that? You see the little snide, smart ass remarks? Like, well, yeah, of course, because in China, there's like a billion different variations. There's like, there's like a million different flavors of Jackie Chan in that motherfucker. Like, there's Jackie Chan with the unibrow. There's Jackie Chan with the short hair. What the fuck? But yeah, yes, here you look like Jackie Chan. And then he went further to say, he was like, in my country, they would say, that you look like someone famous too. I was like, really? Well, the two of us should go to another country and tell them that we're making Rush Hour 4. You see that? I was a joke. I joked. I don't look like Chris Tucker, by the way. But some look alike, and she don't look like Lucy Liu. So don't even try to drag me into that. Whatever you was doing, D. Scott, don't do that.
It's just physical, that's one thing. But I also have a sensitivity to that of power dynamics. And because the younger person is still developing their fucking frontal cortex, I've talked about this online and I get a lot of pushback. Like,
fuck her frontal cortex. When I say she looked like she got good head, I ain't talking about her frontal cortex. Shut the fuck up. Like, ooh, damn, look at that frontal cortex. Fuck your frontal cortex. What in the hell? Walking around talking about she ain't got a frontal cortex. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Do frontal cortex give you like an extra cup of titty? Fuck the frontal cortex. What in the hell? She wasn't complaining about that when her ass didn't have a frontal cortex. When men say they like to see full frontal, they're not talking about the cortex. Shut the fuck up. When Asian women get older, you realize how much titty they don't have.
you're just old and bitter. I'm like, I, at the time, did not know better. I didn't know what I was giving up. If the older man has...
You see, and this is the thing. They see themselves as a commodity and they want to get the greatest value for this commodity. And they feel that young women aren't charging enough for their commodity. That's what it really comes down to. That's what it really comes down to. And they want the young women to raise the cost of their commodity so she can offer a discount to me. So she can say, yes, why do you still want some of this, gently used Asian box? What the hell? Look at my frontal lobe. Fuck, what the hell?
is genuine in their intentions, kind and all that, that's fine. I'm not denying that there could be like a true love, a true connection there. As the older man, like, you have more life experience, you know your boundaries better, you know what you want in life. Possibly the younger person doesn't have that yet, and if you take that advantage of that or use that to your advantage, I'm not cool with that. And I do feel like a lot of men who do date super young like that, they do. Men who date significant.
Okay, let's see what the they pick the young ones because the older ones call out his game. Okay. What game do the older ones call out that the younger ones don't? Like, is she under the impression that there exists something about men that take women an extra 20 years to figure the fuck out? And first of all, there is no game. There is no, oh, I figured that out. Aha. Aha. There isn't that. Like, yep. You ever have a woman call you out on your game and you like, that wasn't a secret? For example, you walk up to a woman, young or old, and you'd be like, oh wow, you didn't see me, but I actually noticed you when you went down aisle 6 before. I wanted to say something, so I made an excuse to meet you in this one. You're very pretty, and I want to get to know you. So if we could communicate later, I would greatly appreciate that, and I'll make it worth your while. Aha! You're trying to fuck me. What? I call you out in your game. You're trying to put your penis in my vagina. Well, oh, I'm not trying to. What game? What are you talking about? It's that type of retarded. Like, that's it. What the fuck? Imbeciles. Like, that is not sage wisdom. That is just like, oh, and yeah, good point. Good point. Yes, the younger Latina is actually wiser than this person, and she's a Asian woman. She's supposed to be wise. She's supposed to be like Mr. Miyagi's daughter or some shit like that. Like, why aren't you wiser? And why aren't you kung fu? And why aren't you better at calculus? And why can't you walk on tree branches? You fucking wasted Asian. You're not even wise. Get the fuck out of here. You horrible human being. You're non-calculus, bitch. Damn it. All right. I prefer older men than men my age. Okay. We all have a preference. If that man is taking care of her and treating her right, age doesn't matter. Yeah. Why are we assuming the man is pursued? I don't think that's assumed that, but I wouldn't put it past her to assume that. Why is older people talking about this subject? Come on now. I mean, it's obvious because they're threatened. Like, women were not meant to compete with their daughters on the mating market. I'm going through this now. Her 24, me 43. She initiated the relationship. I blew her off several times, but after hanging out, she fun and just cool. Oh, this is a dude. Okay. I don't know if she's fun and cool, then it's not a bad thing. Did she call you out? I got into a relationship when I was 19. She was 29. Oh, okay. We're 30 and 40. Okay. All right. So y'all been together for like 11 years. And getting a divorce. Oh, damn. Okay. This is really a male on female thing, but okay. It's a difficult topic to discuss, but older men offer more security and wisdom, better, a mature experience than a F boy who will use and use slash break her. Okay. Do are older men more likely to want to settle down? Yes. Yes. Would I ever discourage a young woman to get with a young man because of that slightly increased possibility? No. No. When you're young, there is that, and you have a good woman, there is that feeling that maybe the next one will be a little bit better. Like you have this perfect chick, but then, but she's a C cup or she's a B cup, and you're hoping that the next one will be a C cup. There is that, but trust and believe, young love is a thing, and it has existed for a long period of time for a reason. I mean, that's just one obstacle that the woman has to overcome, and it's not a major obstacle. And there's other obstacles dealing with older men that they would have to overcome, primarily the enormous cultural difference. For example, talking to this young chick, is it just me? And I don't know how many of you guys are younger yourselves, or you, which means that you don't have a point of reference, or you are not in your 20s, but you're dating a woman who is in her 20s. Is it just me, or do everything they say sounds like they're stressed and exhausted and whining and complaining? Like, and then they say stuff like that don't make sense, but it's a common catchphrase that they say in their generation. For example, and this happened to me recently. I'm not even gonna lie, I gotta go to sleep. Why did you say the I'm not even gonna lie part? I get it, that's something people say, especially in this generation, but they say it about everything. So now it means nothing. Like, were you planning to lie about that? What the fuck? And there's also like this whiny tone that a lot of them have. That's not my favorite thing in the world. Is it enough to deter me? No. It's, so just like that, a young woman should not be deterred from a young man dealing with, his cultural isms. Keep speaking the truth. All the guys in the comment are weak, broken ego boys. Oh, holy crap. Okay. Daddy issues. Yes, I love them. Once again, these are all minor obstacles to deal with. Like a slightly higher propensity to, explore. And I'm talking about, young women looking at young men. That's an overcomable obstacle. Once again, a cultural difference between the age groups. This is an obstacle. These are all like minor obstacles. All right. An obnoxious faded bitch who's just online trying to come fool you out of some pussy. No, that's unacceptable. Wait, don't always say women develop faster than men. I don't really know what that means. when they say it. I mean, because there's a lot of phrases that people say that humanity take out of context, because I'm thinking, and I thought this at the time when I first started hearing it, was that girls get titties faster than I get a mustache. You know, like they got their tits and periods and shit well before I started like peach fuzzing and all that going on, and hair down there. So that's what I was thinking it meant, which makes sense. I don't really know if they mentally mature faster than boys. I mean, I do know that they socially mature faster than boys, and maybe that's what they're referring to. But because they're social creatures, I mean, that's just how it is, and they have far greater opportunities for social interactions. But I don't even know what that means. All right, it says, so what age does it stop then? Ask a specific question. So there's no more goalpost movement. Okay. So you're saying that mentally a woman who is younger would be on the same thing. Well, I mean, if women are looking for a man that's a leader, then life experience would be a factor in his leadership abilities. So I think that is cause for attraction to older men. Um, but for whatever reason they are, and I don't really like give a shit why. All right, so moving on, we're going to talk about the woman in Thailand and how she is upset about the brothers who are not giving her the attention that she feels due. And I actually agree with her. And this is really a point of contention with the Passport Bros that I have. And we're going to get into that for a second. All right. But first, I want to show y'all something. Let me go to her page. And this is another thing in dealing in age gapping or older versus younger women. What's going on, Christy? So here you go. So I would call her attractive in a different time. If we lived in a different time, how can I say this? There was a time when attractive women were attractive, and there was no question on. Okay, actually, let me rephrase that. There was a time where what you see is what you get. That time has long expired. And I know what people are saying. Well, this is video. Trust me. And I'm going to show y'all some examples of what I'm talking about. I'm going to show y'all some makeup tutorials that will blow your freaking mind. What you see, I don't care if it's on the streets. I don't care if it's in person, video chat, voicemail. There is no way to know if what you see is what you get unless a police officer from the 1960s hoses her down in the middle of the street in the South, in the Jim Crow South, and then she pops up and you see the water just power hose the makeup off her face, and then you see what you're getting. That is the only way you know. That and the previous girls, the young Latina girl who just who didn't have on any makeup, obviously, at all. So, and the reason why I say with older women are going to wear a little bit more makeup to preserve their youth. but you don't know if it's makeup or cover up. Like what we're dealing with could be complete and total cover up. That being said, if what I see is what I get, she can get it. If what I see is what I get, she can get it. Get it? Got it? Good. Okay.
Serious question. What is up with the black men in Thailand? Are y'all okay? And I'm not even speaking like on a romantic level, but just on a normal, cordial level. Y'all are weird. I seen a black man today just walking, and just like I give everybody else, I gave him a nod and like a little smile. When I tell you this man looked at me like he seen a ghost, and I couldn't do nothing but bust out laughing because what is wrong with you? I get a lot of y'all come over here to sow your wild oats, but that doesn't mean that you instead be rude to any black American that you see. We are the minority in a foreign country. So yes, when I see another black person, I'm expecting for there to be some type of mutual respect between us. Am I saying that we gotta hug and hold hands and go on a date? No, but you should be normal and respectful instead of acting like you don't see you. Literally everybody stick together except black people. When I tell you they did a number on us, whew, I genuinely don't understand. And if somebody want to hop in the comments and be respectful and tell me why the vibes are what the vibes are, I'm happy to listen. Serious question. What is up with the black men in
Okay, so she calls black men weird for that. I think it's weird that she invites people into the comment section to have a discussion and then disable the comment section. I find that extraordinarily weird. Nevertheless, I agree with her to a certain extent. And once again, I don't think that travel should be weaponized. And this is my message to the passport bros. I don't think that it should be done out of hatred. It really should be done out of practicality. And no other reason. For example, homes are very expensive here. And to the point where I was watching a movie on Tubi not too long ago, and a commercial came up telling me that Ohio is the second cheapest state as far as housing goes. So apparently real estate brokers in Ohio said, I know that y'all paying out the ass there. Y'all need to, y'all need to think about Ohio. It was Ohio or Idaho, whatever the second cheapest state is for houses. And I'm like, okay, I could see somebody, because my parents did. They moved to Texas. I could see somebody who's frustrated with the cost of living here in the States, especially with the cost of everything, not just housing going up. Here in California, I could see them wanting a move and wanting a better deal. Should that person really have hostilities towards California in doing so? No. And you most certainly shouldn't take that with you. I don't. Oh, let me start with this. Maybe I should have been clear on this first. I don't think that actually happened. I don't think that her story is true. However, I do think that there exist men who feel that way. So I'm going to address them first. Okay. Do I think that that story is a complete, total, and utter lie? Absolutely. And I'll explain why in a moment. But to the men who do behave like that, who do want to be visually hostile to women like this and others and stuff like that, you gotta stop. And I'm not saying you have to nod or anything, or you have to do anything, but you have to give a fair assessment of the situation. Okay, so let's just say your goal is to piss them off. You do that whether you nod or not. And really, by not nodding, you are giving them a sort of sensation because they want to see you upset. They want to see you angry and, like, "Oh, you mad?" Type stuff. But really, if you want to aggravate, and I don't know why you do, but let's just say you do. Any attempt, or excuse me, any time a man does not approach a woman, especially an attractive one, which this is, that counts as a rejection. So even if she were to nod and you were to nod back and keep going without trying to fuck, that counts as a rejection. It would be the same, in her mind, that would have the same effect of you saying, "I would rather not put my dick in your mouth. I would rather keep my dick in my pants hanging lazily to the left side than place it into your mouth." That you really just rejected her that hard just by nodding when she nodded first. So you don't have to try to upset her. You don't. Hold on. Let me just delete this comment. No, I'm going to leave it up. I'm going to leave it up because I got to point out this foolishness. Maybe you should move to Mississippi. What in the hell? Yeah, because the food is dirt cheap, huh? No, I still live in California and I pay more because I pay more. I'm not going to move to Mississippi. I can't think of a place in the universe that I would rather not be. Okay. But anyway, now that being said, the story actually didn't happen. This is propaganda. This is something that didn't happen. Okay. Here's the truth of the matter. He has no way of knowing that you are not local. He has no way of knowing that you are not local. A strange. If I was a black man in Thailand, I've never been to Thailand. I've been to the Philippines, and I seen her, I wouldn't know that she's not like a half breed local. Now there's certain cues, but nevertheless, I just wouldn't know. So, what she's suggesting is that he knew that she was a Black American woman and he decided to not nod. That doesn't make any sense. How would he know that? Like, not only is it possible, given your physical appearance, that you are a local half-breed or just a local, because they do have like darker skinned women there with similar hair texture than the one that you purchased. So not only do they have that, they and you could be that, but they have darker skin one. Oh, there's like the whole rest of the world that you could be from. There's like an entire not America world that you could be from. So, for him to look at you and say, I'm not going to nod because she looks like she's from Philadelphia is ridiculous. Is ridiculous. You just made that shit up. You just made that shit up because you want men to approach you. Why that's yet to be seen, I have some speculations, and that's because I hear it from different sources, including Skylar, that you're on some divest or swirl thing, which means that you look for the opportunity to, to jab at black men's ego. So you walk around waiting for niggas to talk to you, and then when they do, you shoot them down so they feel like shit. You ran out of men to do that wherever the fuck you're from, and now you're doing it in a foreign country. So you could damage the men who are going to foreign countries to repair their ego. Once again, I could see women doing that, women like yourself doing that. But once again, women like that are going to exist. Men, black men, it doesn't really help you to just like not nod back. You can't just nod and keep it pushing. All right, let's read some of the comments. I suspect why. Okay. Nah, James Evan died in Mississippi. Yeah, a lot of people die and then they turn into dirt and some other Mississippian eat them. Like fucking nasty ass inbred dirt eaters. All right, it says, didn't someone show her Twitter where she was disparaging black men? Yeah, that was Messy Michonne. So we're gonna get into that. Was he really hostile? Yeah, I would say that is hostile. I would say that someone being kind towards you and to respond to kindness with ignoring someone's kindness is an act of hostility. Absolutely. And you will know this, if you ever put your hand out and say, hey, how you doing? And you reach your hand out for someone to shake your hand and they don't shake your hand, that is a hostility. Was he really hostile, or was she demanding worship and he denied her worship? Me ignoring you and minding my business is offensive. Once again, it's not offensive. It is offensive if the person has a gesture of kindness. Okay. Say you're a truck driver and you look at the car next to you and it's a kid doing that gesture, because I used to do this when I was a kid. And it's basically a pull down sign, and that's the kid's signal. That's a universal signal. Every truck driver know it, and every person who used to be a kid know it. And that is, you want them to honk their horn. I would say any truck driver that sees a kid do that and not honk their horn is being hostile. That's how I just view things like that. Whenever you have an opportunity to return a friendly gesture at no particular cost to yourself, not doing so, it really means that something's up with you. And now that being said, black women have been hostile for a long fucking time, and it shows. They are hostile. Like when you see someone and they're they're walking around and, you know, you give, because how many times in the States did you give a friendly smile and nod to a chick and she just, you know, kept it pushing, or she just actually sneered and kept it pushing? You know, that's common practice here in the States. And that is an act of hostility. And they know it. It's passive aggressive when they say, no, I don't have to talk to you. That's not hostile. Yes, it is, bitch. But no, you do bring up a point. Now, once again, you can just reply without worshiping her. You can. And that's why she turned off her comments. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that she got like, she did not get the response that she wanted. No, we're not being hostile. So you're a truck driver. Okay, so honking our very loud tractor horn can be a reason for other drivers who aren't expecting a very loud honk. Okay, so my perspective is coming from a different time. But I could see that being a point. I could see like a regular driver hearing a big ass horn honking, you know, and you know, it's like, oh no, I was just amusing the kid. So yeah, maybe time have changed in that, and I can see why. It does make sense. You don't want like a big ass horn honking for no reason other than to placate a child. So yeah, maybe times have changed, so that would be a bad analogy. However, you understand the sentiment behind it. You do. Actually, you know who did that? Ricky Lake. So my mom's friend was on the Ricky Lake show, and she brought her son there as well. And one of them was like, "Hey, hi, Ricky." And she just looked at him strange. I wasn't there, but this is what they told me. This is what my mom told me. And it's like, she's a fucking bitch. And I heard Maya is like that too. Listen, there's just certain ways that you handle interactions with people. And there's neutral and then there's hostile. And though you're not required to be friendly all the time, if you are taking the same effort to be unfriendly that it would take to be friendly, then you are being hostile. For example, you see a celebrity and you ask for an autograph. You say, "Hey, Mr. Person, you know, let me have an autograph." And not only does that person deny you an autograph, they write on a piece of paper, "I will not give you my autograph." Meaning that they took the effort that it would take to give an autograph to not give an autograph. That's hostility. People thought that Chadwick Boseman was being hostile, but really he was going through some obvious illnesses. When, you know, people walked up to him and did the Wakanda Forever shit, and I know he got tired of it, you know, so, but these are your fans, come on. But he had a reason. It's like, hey, I'm going through some serious problems and you're on some, you know, X Factor shit. Anyway, let's look at some more of her stuff. So apparently, she's on some divest swirl shit, hate black men shit, you know, and she must have took those videos down. Oh, what's this? Here, I'm curious about this.
So yes, unfortunately, I had to call APD to get them out of the apartment because they were not leaving at this point, and I'm about to give y'all the rest of the story. So just stay with me, y'all.
I'm not gonna stay with you. Just get to the point of it.
Good. Hey, there. Darren here, you go.
So I did have to call the police on them. So initially, when they first got there, right?
She looks different here, and that's not a compliment. And this is what I'm talking about the heavy makeup and all that stuff. Yeah, modern women can make themselves look like anything. They just paint the face that they want. And really, how attractive a woman is really just a reflection of how good of an artist she is.
I get a call from the mom, and the mom is like, oh, everything looks great. The apartment looks just like the pictures. Everything's so clean. We love it. And we're actually thinking about extending our stay. First red flag, right? So I'm like, I'm in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm like, that's great that you love everything. And so I asked her, I was like, how long are you thinking about extending your stay for, right? And so she was like, oh, probably another 2 weeks or something. We're not too sure yet. We're just trying to see what we're gonna do. Mind you, the apartment was already booked up by other guests for the next like 2 weeks. So they wasn't gonna be able to stay for another 2 weeks anyways. But could you imagine what that apartment would have looked like had I let them stay for another 2 weeks? So I let her know, I'm like, well, we'll see what the schedule is looking like closer to y'all checkout. Mind you, I said they was only supposed to be there for like 4 or 5 days, so not a long stay at all. So a day goes, so that day, the rest of that day goes by, nothing.
Okay, let's see. Paying bills in Thailand, so oh my pretty hair. Why do you say my pretty hair when that's a wig? I wonder did George Washington do that?
Seen that thread on Twitter of men showing receipts, basically of women like begging them for money. When I tell you, I've been dying laughing at that thread for like days now. I can't believe it, but I'm actually on the man's side when it comes to this because the way that some of these women are begging men for money, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not a pick me, and I totally feel like a man should be paying
Okay, so you just outed yourself. You're not a pick me. Okay.
for a lot of things. But asking a man for money and you've only known him for 2 days is just, it's wicked. Really hurting my heart, y'all. I'm hoping that majority of those women actually hate those men and they just want them to stop texting them. Because if there's a man that you don't want him around and he refuses to leave you alone, I'm telling you, the quickest way to get rid of him is to ask him for some money. I promise you, it works every time, like a
Well, that still wouldn't make them decent women. And I get what she's saying. You know, like these women are not actually looking for money, but they are just saying that this is the way to get rid of a guy. Um, the fact that they would want to get rid of a guy after 2 days of getting her number really makes them trash women to begin with, because and this is the short attention span thing. It's like you meet a chick on Wednesday, and it's like, okay, here's my number. You know, you cute, you this, and then by Friday you text her and she's like, oh gosh, give me some money. I'm tired. Like, what the fuck? Means that she's very unstable mentally.
harm, okay? Ask that man for some money. Now, if he's annoying and won't go away and you ask him for some money and he send it and he still don't go away, then you got another problem on your hands. And I'm going to say that ain't really a problem. Ugh. I have the hardest time asking a man for something. Like, I would rather you just do as opposed to me having to ask. But it's females out here really asking men, like, I'm talking about not even saying good morning first, just straight out. Like, I need this.
So I don't have a problem taking men's money. I do have a problem with asking for a man's money. Men should just give me it. They should just give me money. I hate having to ask. These women out here asking. This is insane.
Like, as a woman that takes care of the majority of all of her own responsibilities, I don't really want to have to ask you for this, this, and that. Like, I would rather you, after observation, like, see how I live and then just add to that. Am I crazy?
Yes,
Maybe
yes,
I
you
need to
are.
get out here and start dry begging, asking for.
Yes, you are. Okay. And this goes into this hyper spending that we see a lot of women do, and this whole fake it till you make it thing that we see women do. Women are out here pretending. They're running their credit cards up so they could look like they are high maintenance. And then they want the men to come along and say, okay, she's at this economic level, so I have to spend more. Really, it's an investment. So they'll get a car that they can't afford and say, okay, because she, has this car, I have to. Basically, they're trying to entice men to match her spending habits. So she's going to have poor spending habits because they're feeling the way she looks at it is it's an investment.
$50. Have y'all seen that thread on Twitter
Okay.
of men showing receipts?
All right. She's talking about her different wigs. Let's see. Her eyebrows did. Oh wait, this one got a million views. Meg the Stallion. Let's talk about it. No, I don't. This one is just called Studs. No, I don't think I want to see that. All right, let's see. Propaganda I'm refusing to fall for. Nope. I'm the chasee, not the chaser. Okay. I want to see if she has like a race thing going. I'm thinking that she got rid of her whole divestiture swirler things when she started getting pushback. So, because I didn't see it when I was looking at before. Why are you calling women females? Okay. All right, let's see. Clubs give me hell vibes. Okay, I was gonna click that one to see if it had like a. Oh shit! Did she just call nerds simps? Okay, let's see what she has to say here.
Like, y'all can have Mr. Cool Guy, Mr. Think He the Prize, Mr. All Eyes on Him, Mr. Flashy, Mr. Hey, can you take this picture of me? Mr. Gotta be the loudest in the room, Mr. Want everybody to see him. I like a man that is quiet. Like, I truly do believe that the loudest man in the room is the weakest man in the room. Give me a quiet man that can sit and play the back. He don't have to say too much, but you feel his presence. You know he there. You know what I'm saying? He just don't have to do too much, but you know that he there. You know what I'm saying? Keep a man that think he the prize far away from me.
Um, what a bird brain. What a bird brain. I don't even know where to begin with that. So when you see a quiet, let's just call it stoic, because I think she's talking about a very particular type. And the word for the type that she's talking about is stoic. You somehow equate that to being a nerd or a simp? I don't think she understand what words mean. I'm trying to think of an example where a nerd was quiet in a social setting. Like, I mean, because you could call like a nerd like Steve Urkel, um, a lot of things, but I don't really imagine him going to a party and just standing in the corner quiet. Like, that seems like something thugs do. You know, that they just stand to the side trying to look hard. A- And you would go to that person and say, "Yeah, you're a nerd." Why am I a nerd? Because you're quiet. Like, there doesn't exist like a category of men that don't have the stoic types. What the fuck? What the damn? That really hurt my brain. I don't. Okay. Um, I wish I hadn't clicked that actually, because like I don't even know what to say or do with that. That yeah. Non-confrontational people are not good people. According to you, they're nerds. So let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Hate for Black Americans everywhere.
So much disdain for Black Americans everywhere. Oh, that racism exists, but it's weird when you experience it from people that look like you. Like, I don't understand what Black Americans have done so bad that makes other people, especially the ones that we share the same skin color and features, I don't understand what we did to make them dislike us so much.
Then you're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're a social retard if you don't understand, you know, the list of cultural behaviors that Black people have that's off-putting to all other cultures. Then you're stupid. And it also means that a relationship with you would be a fucking nightmare. Because, and I think many of us have had relationships like this. You ever been with a chick that piss you off and don't know why you're pissed? And it would be the most obvious thing. Okay. I'm not going to say the shit that happened to me, because then somebody might recognize, like, oh shit, you tell that story all the time. But it's like, oh shit, UGC. So I'm not gonna go into particulars about what happened to me. I save stuff like that for movie night. But the things that has happened to me have been as outrageous as what I'm about to describe. Imagine somebody pissing in the kitchen sink. Imagine a woman standing up top the kitchen sink and taking a piss. And then imagine that same woman saying, I don't get why you so mad at me. I haven't been in that particular situation, but I have been in very similar situations where they would do something extraordinarily obnoxious and weird and wonder why you are upset at the extraordinarily obnoxious and weird thing that they do. Why the hate for Black Americans? Because of everything that has happened in the last 50 years. How about that? Look at the expression on her face. She's a complete fucking psycho. And this is coming from somebody that'll fuck. She is a complete fucking psycho.
Because I'm in a whole nother country, and while the country is considered Dutch, I see a lot of people that look just like me. It's like they're almost treating me worse than the people, and I don't understand. Somebody help me understand what it is that Black Americans do to other cultures.
Wait, I'm confused. Oh gosh. I really don't like listening to this Dizzy Broad. I'm watching these like fresh and new. Speak American. Don't come here talking Mahama Booba Boonja Baba. Speak American. What the fuck? Anyway. That's my train of thought. Oh, this Dizzy Broad. I don't know what she's getting at. Like, because most Danish people are white. So, or unless you're in a like African country that was colonized by the Danes, like Rwanda, I think, are colonized by the Dutch. What the fuck? What the fuck? God, just say what you meaning.
And people around the world that just makes them have so much hate for us. It's weird. I feel like Black Americans, we are so welcoming and embracing toward everybody. We want to include everybody.
Holy shit, that is some bullshit. Black Americans are not even welcoming to Black Americans. I'm going to repeat that. Black Americans are not even welcoming to Black Americans. And this is something that I come to realize at a young age. And transferring universities. So, and I think that this is a universally lived experience. If you go to a party or an event or something and it's primarily Black, and you're there by yourself, you will go to that event by yourself, shake no hands, make no new friends, and you will leave by your damn self. Unless you have like an in that group. You go to a white function and they see you there standing by yourself. Somebody's gonna say, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" You know, somebody's gonna introduce. You're gonna shake a hand or two. They're going to introduce you to some more hands to shake, and they're gonna pour you a beer if you drink beer, and it's gonna be that type of thing. They're not just gonna like unwelcome you, give you that unwelcome feel that Black people are known for giving everyone. Not gonna do that. So I caught Cap on what she just said.
And I just feel like everybody wants to exclude us, even the people that look just like us. The only thing is that
She just said Black people are welcoming. Now she's saying the people that look just like us are excluding us.
they speak a different language. I want to know what it is about Black Americans that people just don't like.
Well, they don't like you because you don't know why they don't like you. Like, it means that you are completely oblivious to your faults and are incapable of self-improvement, which is the building blocks of a completely unlikable being.
Even though we look the same, even though if you put us side by side, nobody would know that you're a Afro Latina or versus me. Like no one would know because we have all the same features and we have the same skin color. And again, I don't want this to be taken like I'm talking about everyone. I've met some amazing, nice people where I am specifically and just all over. But aside from the normal type of racism that is experienced, it's very off-putting and like it makes.
Okay, so this is the second time she's on some, if you don't acknowledge me, it's something wrong with you.
Makes me sad when it's from people that look just like me. It's sad. It really is. And I want to understand why. There is so
Okay.
much disdain for Black Americans everywhere. Oh, that racism exists, but it's
All right, let me see. I'm gonna do one more, and then I'm gonna go to Skylar's, because apparently she took down the receipt. So, if you have some, then that's great on her, swirling escapades, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Why is every hairstyle the same price? Okay, so apparently she Airbnbs places. And this is her putting a wig on because she's a Black woman. So y'all see the makeup? Okay, let me show y'all something. All right, hit the like button, people. All right. Let's see. It says she's not bad looking, but has to be miserable to be around always. Well, I mean, once again, inability to see your faults, is a recipe for a terrible personality. It just is. Like, it means that you never improve ever. Like, I mean, imagine somebody who farts at the dinner table. Everybody looks at them funny, and they're like, why is everybody looking at me funny? It means that this person will never learn to not fart at the dinner table. Okay, so let me show y'all something. So apparently she's in Sao Paulo, Brazil. This is her. He paid my debts and my trips to Spain. Um, I'll definitely make you cry. It'll definitely make you cry. Okay, what in the fuck? So this is just 2 weeks old. So when y'all be saying like, "Oh, she beautiful and stuff," look at this. So this is before. This is part way. Part way. Y'all see what's going on now, right? Y'all see what's going on now, right? Y'all see what's going on here? If you think that this is terrifying, you're right. No, it's bitchcraft. So you see, a lot of these online personalities, like the Shira Sevens and shit like that. This is why I do not online date. I can't even trust my lying eyes anymore. I can't even trust my lying eyes anymore. And it's not just her, that's just one of them. And apparently, he paid my debts and my trip to Spain, which means that she's from somewhere else. Like, she's from a place that's not Spain. She used her pictures to seduce a guy who paid all of her debts and bought her a ticket to Spain, not realizing what she looks like without makeup on. I do not online date. I do not online date. And look at this. This is her on a she do this shit on a day to day. Like this is her. Hold on.
I had never flown, never. I had never been away from home for a single day, never. My mother wouldn't let me, she wouldn't let me spend a night away from home. So for me, it was all new.
I showed her friends and family. I also showed her new places here, so it was really wonderful.
The sad thing was that none of my family could come, and that broke my heart. Not having my family at such an important moment for me. The truth is that it was very sad.
This man married her makeup. He married her makeup. Had a kid with her makeup. Like by the time the makeup came off, it seemed like he was married with a kid. Hold on. I'm gonna give you some shorts. So a lot of these bras that dudes be getting excited about, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Holy crap. Unbelievable. All right, let me see if. Oh, here's one. I already clicked that one. Okay. All right, so y'all get where I'm going with this. So listen, you can't treat any old woman like you can't even trust your eyes nowadays. And I used to trust my eyes with stuff. He's now obligated to pay her makeup and wig forever. Anyway, let me go to Skylar's. I'm fucking starving. If I seem unfocused, that's why I am fucking starving. All right, what's it called? Thinking. Oh, see that's why I'm starving. Videos. Oh, that's why. Okay. All right, y'all hit that like button. Let me get this queued up. Damn, Skylar, you a hardworking man. You be having like a lot of videos. I gotta dig through a lot just to, because I could have swore I just seen it like a couple of days ago. Ah, here we go. Okay. It's 10 days ago. Okay. All right. Shout out to Skylar Durone.
But before we get to that, sister, let me comments, man. What is the problem with y'all? All right, let's go.
What is up with the black men in Thailand? Are y'all okay? And I'm not
Okay,
even
so we already
speaking
watched
like
this part.
on a romantic level, but just on a normal, cordial level. Y'all are weird. I seen a black man today just walking, and just like I give everybody else, I gave him a nod and like a little smile. When I tell you this man looked at me like,
But I'm letting you guys know right now, this is just a side note. I'm very anti-personality. Even though I have a YouTube channel, even though I'm a master or I'm the true boss player out here, I really keep to myself for the most part. People be
here.
You never hear, bro. You can search, you can scour the internet, and we're gonna move on to this piece right here, because she said me soon because I quit with you inwards. So this is what she's saying. So she's projecting. This is the same girl, and she posted that she really wants to be with a Brad. So the Brad thing didn't work.
Okay, so she hit with the hard ER. By the way, she took this down. Or actually, I'm not on her X account. I looked at her Instagram. But it's the same, thing, the same name and all that stuff. She took this down, and this is September 24th, 2019. So she's been, Brad hopping for quite some time. Nice body. You can't put makeup on that.
In 2019. So now she's in Thailand and she's making some stuff. But anyway.
Oh, wait, was that even her? Or did she just have like a picture of another black chick and said me soon? Like that's gonna be her soon. Okay. I don't know.
And she posted that she really wants to be with a Brad. So the Brad thing didn't work in 2019. So now she's in Thailand and she's making some stuff. But anyway, you can literally scour the whole internet, bro. The whole internet. You will never see any woman in Thailand, any sister in Thailand documenting and explaining her and showing her dating experience with a Thai man. Why would you go to a country where you are not interested in any of the men, and to be fair, they're not interested in you, and then get upset with the black men who are there who are having the best time of their life? They don't like it. Please, someone find me a video of a woman in Thailand, a sister girl, who's sharing her dating experiences with Thai men, and she's showing reels of them going on dates. Please do. But this sister right here has a disdain for black men. Passport trucker, shout out to him. She has been saying a lot of things. Black men are poison. Black men are so mentally effed up. Black men are the biggest disappointments to mankind. I hate all black men. Like, she has been on a tear. This is the same girl, Paris Noir. She was on a tear back in the day. A lot of these girls, they go on tears. Then they realize that Brad don't want them. Then they come back around. They come back around.
So I don't know what this is, the date. I don't know if this is November 19th, 2022. I don't Twitter. Let's start there. I don't Twitter. So somebody tell me if this is November 19th, 2022, or is this November 22nd, 2019? Let me know. Because it does seem like she spent 2019 on some I can't stand these niggas stuff.
And then they want to go to Thailand, and then they want a black man. So they're just it's just sad, man. It really is. It's just a sad situation. But this sister girl right here, to be fair, she is pretty, she is attractive, and yeah. So what's the solution here, guys? The solution is this: continue to vote. Okay.
I'd say your feet, but either way, because that's all they see is the wallet when the feet walk away. All right, so seems like from what I'm gathering, and this is why I'm asking if that's the year, but it looks like the year was the 19 part, unless she just posts every month on the 19th. So with that being the year, it does seem like something happened in 2019 and she was just like, fuck these niggas. I don't hold it against somebody who goes on a rampage that is probably not a representation of who they are. And Mike Tyson said it best when Hulk Hogan died. Because there was this thing, apparently Hulk Hogan dropped the N-bomb years ago, and something about his daughter or something, not dating a black man or something like that. Something along those lines. And there's a bunch of people who did. I think Charlie Sheen and Mel Gibson and Liam Neeson did it. Like, it's a difference what people say and do when they are at the height of their anger and frustration than who they are. And I don't think that that people should be judged on how they behave in a moment of heightened emotions. I do think that you should take how they behaved in that moment and backtrack on what you know about this person. It's like, okay, did they just reveal them true selves, or is this just a moment of heightened emotions? So if she just went through like a bad breakup or something like that, or just a series of failed relationships, which she probably did in 2019, and she did because of her personality. But if that happened and she blamed black men and her Twitter page reflected that for a few months in 2019, where niggas ain't shit, 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 and then she just got it out of her system, I could see that. I could see a person doing that, and I'm not going to hold it against them. Just like Tyson didn't really hold Hulk Hogan against him, because Tyson admitted, like he said, I did some shit. He said he threatened to rape a white man when he was like, if you was in prison, you'd be my bitch, you fucking white faggot. You like, I mean, that's he's not on that shit on a day to day, but he was pissed at that reporter. So I'm not going to hold that against her. And I don't want to be one of these people, because I know Only Logic is like this, that there's no coming back when, if you do this. I don't want a person to feel trapped. So there is that. Now, here's the downside of that. She don't know better. Like, she understands what frustrates her. And for her to be like on some, I'm always welcoming. I always nod. Why aren't they nodding? So you do understand that you at least spent some period of your life not nodding at brothers. You do understand that. For whatever personal reasons, you spent at least one period of your life not nodding at brothers, being non too friendly to brothers. So you should be understanding. It's not weird. You should be more understanding. If he's going through a similar period in his life, and he probably is, that's why he's in Thailand, to where just like you was like, I'm not messing with these niggas. He could be like, I'm not messing with these nigga bitches. And you should understand that. A smarter, more mature person wouldn't just go online and say these dudes are weird. A smarter, more mature person would go online and be like, you know something, I get it. You know, in 2019, I don't want to mess with any black dudes. I had a picture, of myself in my panties with Brad, and and I'm like, this is gonna be me soon, and like I just did, I was on a tear, so blah blah blah. I mean, if you had the ability to self-reflect, you would be able to say, yeah, he might be like that too. But instead, you like, oh, why are people like this? What the fuck you mean, why are people like this? You're like that. All right. Says GC, thanks for the super chat. Says GC, look at your chat when you get it. When you get, I sent something. Are you talking about this? I can't copy and paste it. All right. So send to the email, and I'll take a look at it now. I am hungry, so I'm gonna like look at it real quick. On X, every time a black woman talks down on brothers, there's a couple of accounts that always find old tweets of them yearning for white men. Well, I mean, there is a correlation. And women do this a lot, especially rainbow women, where, okay, minority women are more prone to this, but there is a tendency to where if they had an experience or a series of experiences, bad experiences with men, that it turns into hatred for that particular subset of men. And for a lot of rainbow women who are not naturally rainbow, a lot of rainbow women, it turns into a hatred for men in general. Now, that hatred for men turns into love for women. And for black women, oftentimes, the hatred for black men turn into love for white men. Now, the problem for black women is that that love is rarely reciprocated unless it comes with an extraordinary advantage to the guy. Meaning that she's significantly prettier than he is handsome, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So white guys would be the benefactors of that. The reason why, even though white women do it, they're far less prone to do it, is because white men are the majority in the West. When they have a problem with men, with white men, they don't say white men are like this. They just say men are like this. That's the benefit of being the default. And they just go full carpet mode. So, but yeah, that's how women react. And that's how women behave. They get rid of entire groups when they received a series of unfortunate interactions. Women have the luxury of being able to do that. Men do not have the luxury of being able to do that. I repeat, men do not have the luxury of being able to do that. I repeat, men are not Men do not have the luxury of being able to do that. Unless you're that dude that can walk into a nightclub knowing that 80% of the women want to fuck you, and you have to eliminate all but one, unless you're that particular dude, and no one here is, including myself, then men do not have the ability to do that. So, if you are a man and you say, I no longer mess with X group of women, unless that group of women is something that's completely repulsive to you, like fat women are to me, then you're a damn fool for saying that. Because you do not have the options. Women have the option to say, I don't mess with right-handed men, and still have like a steady stream of left-handed dick. We don't have that option. Try saying something like, I only mess with women that can sing, and see when the next time you get some ass is going to be. Like, we don't have it like that. So this whole passport bros, you need to stick with your own. Bitch, I am not eliminating 87% of the mating population. I am not going to eliminate. I do not have it like that. I do not have it to the point where I can eliminate 87% of the mating population. I don't. It's retarded to think that. All right, so let me move on. See what Josh sent me before I head out. But to what Jerry was saying, I don't think that it's really a lust for whiteness that they have, more a hate for blackness. I'm going to repeat that. I don't think it's a lust for whiteness, rather a hate for blackness. All right, so it says Sigma males are popular loners. All right. All right, let me play this. Let me play this. Let's see.
To this clip. The reason why. Now, the Sigma male is a person who does things on his own. He don't rely on social interaction. He don't rely on acceptance or anything like that. He's considered as the lone wolf. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this clip and see if you agree with this, or maybe you may be a Sigma male as well.
When you are a popular loner, you will literally irritate people just by existing.
Okay. All right. Josh says that this looks like Chantel. I am not going to give my opinion. Apparently, the last time I said a female YouTuber looked like another woman, shit hit the fan. I'll just let y'all have y'all judgment on that.
While you're trying to mind your business and you have no concern or regard for another individual, they will go out their way to make a problem with you because they feel as if your solitude or your self-containment is some way of saying that you're better than them. But that speaks more about their insecurities than your character. A popular loner literally just means that you're very well known, but you choose solitude, like you're a loner. You could go out by yourself. You could have a very small group of friends, or one friend, or no friends at all. You just like your own energy. It doesn't mean you don't like people. You just could be very, very sensitive to energy. You have strong discernment, intuition. Some you could resonate with literally being clairsentient. So being around a whole bunch of people literally drains you. You also pick up on things people don't say. You're very, very sensitive to energy. Okay. And whenever somebody.
Okay. I heard enough. I'd fuck, but how much listening to her would I have to do to fuck is yeah, would make me wonder if it's worth it. Like I could like listening to
body is self-contained. Whenever your energy cannot be easily accessed, you automatically have this level of superiority in people's eyes.
yeah, I can only listen to so much of that before I'm like, okay, it's not worth the continued pursuit for this pussy. Like, this whole time I'm like, how long before you're on your knees? Like going on a date with her, yeah, just not my type. And it's not that I think that she's inherently a bad person. There's worse people. It's just that I'm not really into what she's talking about. So, like when people talk about the metaphysical in depth, I really tune out and and I've been on dates, lots of them where I'm completely tuned out. Um and those dates consist of me just engaging enough to appear engaged. It seemed like I would have to do that um for a long period of time to drop her panties. Says she seemed genuine. No, I'm not saying that she's a bad person or even a dumb person. I'm just saying that she's talking about a subject matter that I cannot relate. Listen, okay. Um, ladies, just like if a guy was to talk to you about baseball and he was to drone on about baseball for a long period of time, and you really like this guy, he's a nice guy, but he really just have these, in-depth conversations about a subject matter that is not really your thing, then you're either going to have to, tune out or get out. And once again, I want to see her panties drop, so I would stay engaged for a little bit, but or try to change the subject. Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody that participated. I'd like to thank the Cash App Super Chats, managers, moderators, those who are listening silently, and those who participate in the chat. Hit that like button on your way out. And this is GameChanger 00100. Game over. Peace.